What is going on, Piccolos and Lets, kings and queens, friends and fiends? Just read in there. Welcome to the live chat. Remember, regard privacy guidelines. Welcome to my raw thoughts on JCW. The first JCW of the year. Hell yeah. It was great, man. We'll get to a little bit more specific in a little bit. Let's try to go off of memory order. We had Vampiro come out at the top of the night talking about a new challenger he has for Too Tough Tony, the JCW Championship. And we had some cool matchups with Flo Kane and Ninja Mac versus the Outbreak. Or not the Outbreak, sorry. St. Clair Monster Corporation. St. Clair Monster Corporation with our new member, the Beast Man. Beast Man's fucking pretty dope. I guess he's wrestled all over Japan and everything. We're also getting another hardcore kind of guy. It looks like I got something on my phone here. From Canada, looks like. So the Canadian guy looks pretty dope too. Some players called like Maple Leaf Pro he's from. So that's pretty cool. This is where I'm going to try to do my lives from now on. I don't know if I'll do them video or audio or whatever. This will be where I'll host. This will be where I'll host the Locked into Lunacy for the foreseeable future. What is up, guys? Did you guys watch JCW Lunacy last night? What did you guys think of the Outbreak winning the JCW Tag Team titles? Or Matt Cardona finally seeing how he won the title against Too Tough Tony? I know. I'm really excited that the Outbreak has finally got the tag team titles. There's such a good there's such a good gimmick, man. I love everything about the Outbreak. I've said that ever since my first review of JCW. I think they debuted in my first review of JCW. If you guys don't know, I do have a video library of JCW reviews that I did prior to trying to do them on live. So I did those. And then I did some lives on TikTok where I reviewed JCW Lunacy. And then I have the one Locked into Lunacy. There was supposed to be two up by now, but I never got around to recording it because some family emergency happened last Monday. Yeah, I had the whole outline made and everything. I had everything all ready to go, but then, life happens, shit. And then, I'm really excited to finally see Matt Cardona's championship run because I don't know what it is, like a month or two difference between what we're seeing on Lunacy week to week and what's actually happening live. This message is held for review. Oh. Show. Oh. Yeah. Remove. Yeah, that's not an okay comment. So yeah, I am pretty excited about seeing Matt Cardona's title run with the JCW title. Did anybody watch the JCW 2025 award show that happened after it? We saw at the very end of it, we saw that we're also getting Mr. Kennedy, or sorry, Mr. Anderson. for JCW Lunacy. He's going to be on the active roster. Hell yeah, man. I love seeing him in WWE back in the day, and then later seeing him in TNA mostly because he got kicked out of WWE pretty early on. And then most of the time I saw Anderson, he was in TNA. And yeah, man, I'm glad to see him on JCW. So many great wrestlers on JCW, especially from TNA days. We have Self Deletion, we'll call him, and we have James Storm. I'd like to see some more old TNA guys. Let's get a Bobby Roode. Let's get a Motor City Machine Guns. You know. um, Hell yeah. So I'm gonna, for those of you that don't know, which is probably all of you, um, I'm gonna start doing a podcast on Mondays where I'm gonna do it live on YouTube called Locked into Lunacy, where I'll go over with an outline and review everything about that week's lunacy and all of that, and I'll try to make that as entertaining as possible for you guys, and go into kind of a deep dive of my thoughts and stuff like that. But I wanted to make this live just to kind of get my raw thoughts on this week's episode, just because I didn't get to put out an episode of Locked into Lunacy this past Monday. Can you play my song? No, I don't want to play music on YouTube. Even if it's your song, you know, copyright stuff's a bitch. I don't want to lose my channel. Plus, other than that, I don't really have any way of playing it. I don't have something to play it on right now. Just doing this live on my phone. Hell yeah, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Anderson, whatever you call him, Ken Anderson. I'm so glad he's in JCW, man. I can't wait. Do any of you guys watch JCW Lunacy this week? One thing is that when they were talking to Vampiro about, well, you should ask before you do stuff. You can't like make matches without the investors' permission and all that. But it's like just a week before and during the same broadcast, he said he liked Chaos. He's like, Chaos doesn't ask for permission. You know what I mean? Chaos doesn't have to go through channels. If he wants Chaos, just let Vampiro run the show. Let him do whatever he wants. Another thing that I didn't think was very cool in the storyline was it looks like they're trying to have like an SA storyline with Big Al, and I don't really appreciate that. I know they're trying to make fun of WWE and all the allegations against Vince McMahon, which we all know he did it. We all know he's guilty of that. Last time I read a hold for review message, I don't know. Jesus is king. Hell yeah, man. Hallelujah, I should say. Thank you. Do you watch JCW Lunacy? Are you a wrestling fan? Are you a juggalo? I appreciate those likes, guys. Thank you. Did you guys see the award show for afterwards? I didn't realize how awesome Too Tough Tony's title win when he won the JCW World title back in Bloody Mania was GCW versus JCW, and he was ganged up on, and then he had ICP actually come out and help him out, and then he landed on that guy with all those light bulbs taped together. It's freaking awesome. I should go back and watch that JCW versus GCW stuff, man. That looks freaking awesome. And then we had a flash, uh, what is it? Flash from the past? Blast from the past. The JCW Blast from the past. We had, that was Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Tito Santana in a cage match. Freaking awesome, man. So many people don't realize that so many legends and everybody has pretty much wrestled in JCW at this point. Everybody from Terry Funk to Mick Foley to Booker T, Jerry the King Lawler, those old heads, those old guys, like Greg the Hammer Valentine and Tito Santana. And they even recently had Kerry Morton's father, Ricky Morton, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, on there. I don't know how I feel about a Battle Royal championship. Just seems like something they can do once in a while, I guess. It's not really as big as the WWE Royal Rumble, but whatever it is, you know. I don't think anything can really top the WWE Royal Rumble. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really a WWE fan anymore. I loved WWE during the Ruthless Aggression era. Because that's when I think it was really awesome and popping off, coming off of the obviously the Attitude Era and stuff like that. That's when the Attitude Era was when wrestling was cool. Everybody knew about wrestling. Like I remember as a little kid, my mom and my grandma not knowing anything about wrestling would be like, "Did you know Hulk Hogan's a bad guy now?" Because it was just like the Monday Night Wars were that much entrenched in the DNA of the culture. Like everybody knew who Stone Cold Steve Austin was. It's kind of like Star Wars. It was kind of like Star Wars characters back then. Like even if you've never watched a Star Wars movie, you know who Darth Vader is. Like even if you never watched a Monday Night Raw back during the Attitude Era, every kid on the playground knew who Stone Cold Steve Austin was, and every parent. Um, I think we want to. I think since the '90s, since the Monday Night Wars, since the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, we've been really trying to recapture that old wrestling is cool kind of mentality. Wrestling kind of went from being the cool thing in the culture to being just something that only wrestling fans like. You know, wrestling fans, those weird people that like to watch men in tights fake fight each other. Now I know that's that's insulting to any wrestling fan and any wrestler, and I'm sorry, but like that's how the modern culture has seen it since like the 2000s. Like wrestling is just kind of this subculture thing. At least that's my experience. But like I know that's to a degree that's not true because each and every week on Raw and SmackDown, you'll see the numbers of like how popular they are on social media and how much they're the most viewed show and stuff like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do they doctor those numbers a little bit? Anyway, they're huge. They're the biggest wrestling company in the world, but I think they really lost their touch after a while. And not only did they lose their touch creatively, storyline wise, bringing people up, there's the whole thing of like not letting the fans choose who's going to be over, but whoever they decide is going to be over is a thing. Um, but there's also terrible people behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Vince McMahon, to be honest, is a terrible person. He abused a lot of women. He's basically like a Bill Cosby kind of guy. He threatened women into doing sex favors for him. Can I say that? Sex favors. Um, and there's allegations of there was allegations against Brock Lesnar too, but he showed up on TV. I just we went down this rabbit hole of talking about the storyline with Big Al that looks like they're trying to do, which I really don't want them to do in JCW. They're just like poking fun at the whole thing, but also it's just not cool to like even entertain that idea. Um, I want to think that everybody involved in wrestling doesn't have to be a complete piece of shit, you know? Doesn't have to be somebody that abuses not only women but people. I mean, have you guys seen the stuff that came out about John Cena recently from David Otunga and Alex Riley about like how he like bullied them and stuff like that? Like and recently with Hulk Hogan's death, like all the stuff we knew for years that Hulk Hogan in real life was a piece of shit, but like after he died, I feel like there was everything coming out about like how nobody was sad that he died. Like at least all these wrestlers that weren't sad when he died and were glad, and like I mean that's terrible, man. You should never be glad that somebody's dead, but like yeah, man, he was racist and all kinds of stuff, and that just breaks my heart because you grow up seeing like a superhero on TV and then realize that they're not like nobody's a superhero, but like to be that much of a liar and a piece of shit. And then uh the John Cena thing, it's like unfortunate guys get that held up and like this is my spot and I don't want anybody else going near the opportunity to get what I have. And they protect it so much that they don't allow anybody else to go up, and it hurts the wrestling business, man. I remember, you know, there would never be a Shawn Michaels, there would never be a Kevin Nash or a Scott Hall or any of those guys or a Triple H if wrestlers weren't allowed to come up and do their whole like creative thing and like like it's like what's happening with LA Knight right now in WWE too. It's like everybody knows LA Knight should be pushed to the moon, but they're not doing that. They're just fucking him over every chance they get. And um yeah, that's just a lot of ways that what do you think of Nick Wayne? Who is that? Is that the Canadian guy or what? I'm not sure who that is. Is that Dolph Ziggler? AEW. I don't really watch AEW. I thought about watching it for a long time. I tried to get into it, but for a long time when AEW first came out, um, they weren't on a streaming service. I don't have cable, so I would just like watch when I was watching WWE. I would watch it on like Hulu or Peacock or something. And I know AEW's got something now with HBO Max, but they didn't back then. And I remember kind of getting excited for it when like CM Punk and like Daniel Bryan and those guys would come over there. There was like a bunch of ex WWE stars that would come over to AEW. Um, but I never got into it. I never understood the hype behind AEW, I guess. Um, because I would hear people being like, "Oh, AEW is going to be the next big thing. They could put WWE out of business and all that stuff." Is like, does nobody remember TNA? Does nobody remember WCW? Like, this never works. Nobody ever bumps WWE off. But if anybody ever does, I hope it's JCW. But I mean, I think I think that will change because I do think WWE's time is numbered. Um, he was Christian. Oh, I love Christian. Christian Cage, man, was his name, and he trained you. So you're trained as a wrestler. I got trained a little bit as a wrestler. I got I not like fully, but like I was taught to like run the ropes and take a couple bumps and stuff like that. I used to be a referee for my buddy's wrestling company called the UWA Wisconsin. It doesn't exist anymore, but you can look it up on YouTube and see me being the referee in that. Um, and I took some ref bumps, and I was involved. I was one of the lumberjacks in a lumberjack match and stuff like that. I've taken a ring apart and put it back together and stuff. I would love to be part of a indie wrestling company again. I went to one a couple of years ago that was near me, and I just was not impressed with it. They even had, who was it? I think I want to say Nick Storm, something Storm. It wasn't James Storm, but it was a guy that was in NWA at the time, and he had a pretty good match in the main event. But that was their big draw. But the rest of the stuff, I don't know, man. It was just way too amateur, do-it-yourselfish kind of thing. And then just like rows of like the show would end and you'd see all the wrestlers like first of all, you'd be completely taken out of it at this indie wrestling show because somebody would be a heel. I remember this woman was like a heel wrestler in this indie promotion, right? And I'm sitting on these chairs watching her cut a promo and then have a match as a heel and then come sit next to her little daughter next to me in the on the chairs on the side like right after that, like totally just breaking the illusion. And it's not like it was televised or anything. I don't know if they were recording it for online or anything. And then another thing I don't like about indie wrestling is that they don't have any commentators, at least when they're doing the show. JCW, when you go to an ICP show and see a JCW show, I don't think they have the commentators there. I think they add them in later. I could be wrong, or I could not. Maybe I just didn't hear them because I was pretty far back. I was at the JCW show when it was Too Tough Tony versus Kerry Morton, and the referee was Bigfoot. Remember that one? I was at that one way back in. I have a TikTok video about it. Real Juggalo, are you on TikTok at all? You should be if you're not. The Juggalo community is fucking awesome over there. That's where I come from. I've just started doing like all this like streaming and videos and stuff for like the last 4 months. I started at the end of August, beginning of September of last year, and so I'm still pretty new to this whole like TikTok or YouTube thing, but like trying to get more involved in YouTube and stuff like that. My goal is to get to 60K likes on TikTok. I'm at 11K likes. And I'm hoping that Locked Into Lunacy takes off. You weren't here before, but so this is just kind of like a raw thoughts kind of thing, and then I'll do my proper JCW Lunacy podcast this Monday. But I just wanted to say something about JCW on camera for people. Um, because I missed last week. I had an outline and everything, and then we had a family emergency, and so, man, it sucks. And it, to me, I know like Humble Among like does videos like late and stuff like that, but like, I don't know, like mine is just like audio, so like, I think it's pretty outdated to talk about it like a week later. But it's cool, man. I see you might have left. But if you were still here, one thing I would have liked to talk to you about that I just thought about was seeing Man Pondo back in JCW. Man, freaking Pondo is such a legend, man. And that reminds me of uh like all the cool times I saw with him in the Necro Butcher back in the day of Slam TV and stuff like that. But like before I saw the JCW 2025 award show, I didn't realize because I just started reviewing and watching JCW Lunacy fully like at number 50. I didn't realize how many times the title has changed hands this year. Um, uh, yeah, the title has changed hands a lot this year. There was like Kerry Morton, there was Man Pondo, there was a GCW guy in Too Tough Tony. Um, four times. If it was just four times, I don't think that's terrible for a calendar year for a title. But I definitely wouldn't like it to constantly change hands like 10 times in a year is too much. Like that's some WWE type shit. Let's make the JCW title like have some prestige to it. Um, let's make sure that champions hold on to their championship for a long time. And part of that too is like so when I first started reviewing JCW Lunacy, um the guest star of the night, they would have like a guest star of the night. Like everybody that would go for the JCW title was like somebody that you wouldn't see week to week. They were just there for a night and their thing was they were going to challenge Too Tough Tony for the title. And I thought that was terrible. Terrible idea because to me, the world title should be something that had to be earned and worked for and then like defend it at a PLE and then only have it change hands like really rarely, you know what I mean? Like make JCW titles prestigious and not change hands too often. Maybe a couple times a year. Um, Real Juggalo, what do you think of Outbreak as JCW title JCW tag team champions? Or Matt Cardona as world champion. I'm so glad you can interrupt me anytime you want in the chat. I'm just gonna talk. I'm so glad that we got to see. We're gonna get to see Matt Cardona's title run because I know like a month ago we all know Matt Cardona won the JCW title, and I think I heard on Manny Fresh's uh live stream or whatever that it might be Matt Cross. That's the JCW champion at this moment, but that's purely speculation. No spoilers for anybody that doesn't want to be spoiled. I don't know what's going on currently in JCW. That's not coming out on Lunacy. I'm kind of just stick with the Lunacy stuff. Um, so it's this weird thing where you'll see somebody on TikTok or Instagram pose with the title, and you won't see them win that title for like another month or two. I remember when I first started watching JCW Lunacy and Big Al was still the champion. And then I saw a TikTok of Haley J holding up the women's title, and she never messaged me back because like why would she? But like I messaged her, I'm like, when did you win that? You know, because I didn't know yet that it was like taped like months in advance or however long it is. Yes. Right. Well, Real Juggalo or anybody else that's whoever else is out there, do you guys or maybe you're not Real Juggalo. Whoever else is in the chat, do you have any questions for me or anything you're wondering or hoping for in JCW? Anything you hope they don't do? Like me in the essay storyline with Big Al, I really hope they don't do that, which they're already kind of doing it. But anything you want them to do? Anything you're looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Ken Anderson. I'm looking forward to some of these newer guys that are coming in. All right. Well, with that, I'll be signing off of this live. Um, but hell yeah, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the likes. And I don't know if I should still do this or not. So somebody had watched my old Twisted Most Tasteless album review video, and I do want to eventually do album reviews again, but I kind of wanted to make them YouTube videos. I don't know if I want to start all the way over with Carnival Carnage or something, because when I first started TikTok, I was doing the album reviews. But what I would do back then is just kind of do a quick review, like, hey, I like this and I like this song or whatever. And then I started doing 2-part 10-minute TikToks where they were more like YouTube videos of like full breakdowns, track by track, and stuff like that. And then I would post them to YouTube later. And then I was like, thought about, and then I started doing them live. Basically the same thing as JCW. Like I started making the review videos. Then I started doing them live on TikTok. And then I noticed that I could go live on YouTube when I hit 50 subscribers, and then I could make them videos after they were lives. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that. And it took me way too long to do that, but I'm so super glad I'm able to do it now. Um, I've talked for way too long, guys. Kind of just rambled, but kind of proud of myself that I never ran out of stuff to ramble about this time, and I wasn't. I don't feel like I stumbled too much. I feel like I'm getting better at the solo live streaming thing. Um, Let me know down in the comments any questions or anything you guys got about JCW. I love hearing it. I love Real Juggalo. If anybody's watching and doesn't follow Real Juggalo 123, go ahead and subscribe to him. Go ahead and subscribe to Humble Among. I'm gonna mention him on my next podcast. Not that he needs mentioning, because like if you're somebody who watches me or Real Juggalo 123 and somehow don't know who Humble Among is, like first of all, I don't believe you. Second of all, go subscribe, go watch that shit because he's funny with his JCW reviews and very entertaining and informative with all like his uh Juggalo news stuff. If you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with ICP and everything in the Juggalo world, go watch Humble Among, man. And super nice guy. Um, from what I've just heard in the comments, I haven't met him personally, but like he always responds to my comments. So with that, guys, whoop whoop, much wicked clown love, peace.